Well, hey there, neighbor. It's me, Angie. Come on in. It's time for our weekly neighborhood chat. Now, this is the video. This isn't the live chat that I usually have on Tuesdays. This is the weekly video. It's a little shorter than the live chat. But come on in, get your drink, your snack, and come on back here in the back. We're gathering in the back today. James worked last night. He's asleep. For some reason, he likes to sleep in the recliner. So at our age, we just don't argue about that. I just let him sleep there. It's fine. Anyway, today's talk, our neighborhood chat, is going to be about how do I smile when all I want to do is cry? You know, how do you keep going when you are going through some very difficult times in your life? How do you smile and, you know what they say, suck it up, buttercup. You can live with it. Be strong. You know what I say to you? Cry. Go ahead and cry. Crying is a release that you need physically, emotionally, spiritually. Crying is good for the body, soul, and spirit. Cry it out. I mean, talk while you're crying. I mean, I believe in a higher power, so when I get to the point where I'm crying, I'm not talking to myself. I'm talking to the one I serve and expressing how I'm feeling and what I'm feeling and why I'm feeling it. Now, once we go through that moment of crying, of course we want to come through it, you know, like a car going through a car wash that's getting a good bath. That's what a good cry is, you know, a good bath. You're bathing yourself. You're cleansing yourself. You're getting rid of imperfections, impurities, toxins, things that you have built up inside that your body cannot hold back anymore because you're crying, which is a good thing. It's fine. Go ahead and do it. But don't stay in that state. You know, a car wash doesn't just sit in that car wash and just never come out the other side. Not unless something's broken on the machine. But it always comes through on the other side, and guess what? It's clean and sparkly. And all the dirty and the nasty stuff has been washed off of it. You know, that's what a crying usually does for us. It cleanses us. It makes us feel better. Or it should. You know, for years growing up, I didn't cry. I wouldn't cry for anything. I can remember my mother believed in corporal punishment. And, of course, we had to go get our own switch and that whole story. And she would punish us by spanking us with a switch. And my oldest sister would just break down and cry before it even happened. I mean, she was devastated before she even got touched one time with the switch. But then my turn came. And I would not cry. My mother could spank me, switch me, as long as she felt that she had the energy. But I would not cry. And she would say to me, I'm not going to stop until you cry. And I wouldn't. And my sister would say, just cry. Just cry, Angie. But I wouldn't. Then I perfected the art of jumping the switch, of being able to jump over it. But I built up all this animosity and anger because I would not release and I would not cry. To me, crying was a sign of weakness, and I was not having it. I was going to be a strong person, and I wasn't going to cry. But I'm here to tell you, it's not a sign of weakness to cry. It's not. It shows strength. And when you become an adult, you really realize that there are moments in your life that you just have to cry. Don't ever talk yourself out of it. Don't try to hold back the tears. Go ahead. Let them flow. But don't stay there. I mean, you may revisit it. You may cleanse for a little bit over a certain situation and be okay. And then you may revisit it and cry again. That's okay too. Because with certain situations in your life, one cry is not going to get it all out of your system. Especially when someone passes away, or we lose someone that we love, or we lose a relationship that we really cared about, or someone made us so angry and they harmed us or our children. You know, we want to cry. A lot of us cry in private, you know, and that's okay. It doesn't matter where you cry. Some people cry in public. I don't do that too often, but I have done it. I'm not ashamed of it. Then you have those that just cry for attention. They just cry because they want somebody to stroke them on their back or pat their head or say what's wrong, or just be begged to someone to ask them why are they crying. You have those attention getters. But the ones that are truly dealing with something, that are needing to cry, I just want to tell you, you have permission to go do it. Cry. Cry, get mad. Say things you've never said out loud. It's like once you hear yourself say it out of your mouth, it's not as big as what your mind is trying to tell you that it is. You know, you have more space out in the world than you do trapped in your head. So once you say a certain thing out of your mouth that you would keep inside and you wouldn't say, it's such a freeing, releasing thing. So just say it. Just cry about it and say it. Don't let anybody allow you to think that crying is bad. That is, unless you're one of those people that are doing it just to get attention. Now that's a whole nother video about people that are attention seekers for any cost, at any cost. They need attention. But today we're talking about crying. Now, once you've had this cry, and I mean this intense cry, you know, the one that it just keeps coming. And that's why a lot of people don't want to start it, because it's hard to stop sometimes when you just want to cry. Now, the pain that some of you all, my neighbors, have suffered, I cannot begin to comprehend or understand. You cannot comprehend or understand the pain that I've gone through. I'm not going to try to feel your pain, because I would not do it justice, just as you wouldn't do it justice to feel my pain. But we can be empathetic toward one another, and caring and understanding, and know that we're not exempt from being hurt, being shunned, being talked about, being made fun of, being bullied. You know, all of us may have been done that way, or a few of those things been done to us, and we handled it the only way we knew how to handle it. You know, we either spoke up for ourselves, or we held back and let it be done. You know, we all react to things differently. It's a choice. You know, I don't think there's a set rule on how you're supposed to react to certain things when it comes to different things that you experience. I don't think there's one set rule on how to react. I know sometimes when we go through a traumatic experience, we go into shock. I've done that before. I think it's our body's way of protecting us from having a full-blown mental breakdown when you go through a tragedy that's so bad that you feel nothing. You just become numb, and months later you think, oh my gosh, that was God's way of protecting me so I wouldn't just fully lose my mind. Because some of us have been through that bad of a pain that we could have literally lost our mind. And sometimes when we cry over that pain still today, we think, I'm going to lose my mind. I don't know how much more of this I can take. You know, have you ever said that to yourself? I don't know how much more I can take. I don't know how many more times that I can relive this story in my mind and not come through it. You know, I was going through something years ago in my life, and I didn't think I was going to come through it. It was a relationship I had that someone was very dear to me, and this person just decided they didn't want to have anything to do with me anymore. And I couldn't understand it. And I grieved for that person. I grieved for the friendship. I grieved for all the things that we used to do together. I couldn't shake it. I couldn't get past it because there was no reason for it in my mind. I didn't know what I had done or what I needed to say to make it better, but it just wasn't fixable. It took me years to come to terms with that. I cried, I pleaded, I begged. Not this person. This person I was in a friendship with, but I cried out and prayed to God, why is this happening? But then one day I woke up and I fully gave it to God, and I said, God, you can have it. I'm tired. I've carried it long enough. And he wanted it months before I gave it to him. But being the person that I am, and you know, I'm supposed to handle everything, and I'm supposed to be strong enough to carry it, he allowed me to carry it until I was willing to hand it over. So one morning I just said, okay, God, I can't. If I'm going to be good for my husband and my children, I can't. I can't carry this anymore. It's yours. And I'm not taking it back. You know, sometimes if you're a Christian and you give things to God, or you say you're going to give them to God, and you take them back. You say, oh, okay, never mind, I can get it. I got it. I want it back. And you start carrying it all over again. But this time I just said no. No. Because I was beginning to have resentment and bitterness and anger and so much sadness that I couldn't think of the good times that this person and I had, the lessons that I learned from this friendship, the love that I was shown by this person, from this person. And as long as I stayed in the middle of it, I couldn't remember the good times. So I said, oh no, I've got to remember all those good times. I didn't stay in this friendship all this long to end it with bitterness and anger and sorrow. No, I have to remember the good times. Well, the longer I stayed in the bitterness and sadness and sorrow, the good times kept fading back and back and back, and I couldn't remember them. I didn't want that. I did not want that. And I thought, everything happens for a reason. So it was a choice for this person to walk away. It was a choice for me to let go, because I felt like, well, if I let go of it, we're never, ever going to reconcile. Well, we weren't going to reconcile anyway. This person had already made up their mind that they were finished. But in my mind, I thought there were going to be a point in my life that everything was going to be back the way it was. No, it wasn't. Even if we were to become friends again, it would never be the same. So when you decide that you've gone through something, a broken relationship, a divorce, a death, a loss of anything that causes you pain, and then you get to the point where you're feeling that anger and bitterness and wanting to lash back and be angry at that person, you got to stop and weigh out how important the relationship was to you. If it was really important, you have to say to yourself, I can't let it go there because I want to remember the good times. You know the saying, it's better to have loved and lost than never loved at all? It's true. But if you stay angry and bitter and mad, all those good times that you had are going to start fading. And you're not going to be able to remember anything but being angry and mad and bitter. I didn't want that. I didn't want to become that person. So I let it go. But it was already done years before I let it go. Because, my grandmother used to have the saying, oh, there's too much water under the bridge. The bridge is washed out. Once a bridge washes out, you can't reach the other side, and two people aren't joined together anymore. Now you can build another bridge, and you can build a stronger bridge, but it's a lot harder because you can love someone and not trust them. And building that trust back with the person that's hurt you or done something to you is like building that bridge. It's going to take a long time. It's not done overnight. And all the energy that you put into a relationship and then it comes to an end, you think, I can't put all the time and effort into that relationship again. I don't have the energy. I can't do it. I forgive them. I still love them. And I still love this person. I always will love this person. But I couldn't trust them anymore. And I could never have the same relationship that I had with them before because all trust was lost. Now, I know people have dealt with other hurts and they go through physical pain, they cry. They go through other things besides broken relationships that cause them to cry. Their child may be going through something, and we all, that are parents, we cry for our children when our children are hurting. We cry for them. My grandmother said, children walk on your feet when they're young, but they walk on your heart when they get older. That's so true. And until you have children and they get older, you really won't comprehend what I just said. But you're never too old for parenting. You're always going to be that child's parent, no matter how old that child gets. And it's okay to love and protect them, take up for them, be there for them. But you have to let them fight their own battles to a certain extent, because if you didn't, then they would be dependent on you, and you're not going to live forever. So you got to let them walk and stand up and be strong and learn to do it themselves. That's the greatest feeling that a person can have, is accomplishing something on their own with the support of others on the side saying, you can do it. You got this. You can do it. But neighbor, I'm telling you, go ahead and cry. Cry. But don't stay there. Smile. Don't smile when you want to cry. I mean, be who you are. I know a lot of people want to go out in public and want to put that smile on when really they're hurting so bad on the inside. To a certain extent, that's okay. But when you really want to cry, and you don't want to cry to a friend or in front of people, get somewhere by yourself and just cry it out. Talk to the one you serve and say, I don't want to carry this anymore. I'm tired. I'm just tired. And it's okay to be tired. And you'll get rest once you let it go. So remember, just let it go. But don't go back and get it once you let it go. Start looking around at other things that you can grab a hold of, like love, joy, peace, goodness, faithfulness, kindness, gentleness. And with that being said, neighbor, this has been our neighborhood chat. Remember, like, share, subscribe, ring that bell. For the next time, you'll know I'm coming to you with our neighborhood chat. Bye, neighbor.